Beneficial ownership has become a compulsory registration for all companies regardless of their size. It is mandated to identify and record the actual individuals or warm bodies who ultimately own or control the company. Now, whilst the intention may be noble, as it is intended to curb and expose those involved in money laundering and terrorism financing by identifying the actual individuals behind each corporate structure, it does place an additional administrative burden on every business owner. This legislation, which came into effect in June 2023, requires all newly registered companies to complete a beneficial ownership register within 10 days of its registration. Furthermore, this register is required to be updated each and every year on the anniversary date of the company's registration, even if no changes in beneficial ownership have taken place. In addition, every time there is a beneficial ownership change, the register must be updated with CIPC. Beneficial ownership is not only about ownership or shareholding, but also about power and influence in the company. So, what is the definition of a beneficial owner? It is only those individuals who hold more than 5% of the company's shares in their personal capacity or who exercise a significant control over the company. For example, a person with the authority to appoint or remove the company directors, or a person with voting rights in the company, which effectively gives them control over the company. This definition therefore also includes members of non-profit companies who have voting rights, as they are influencing the decisions in the company. Beneficial owners can only be individuals and not entities like trusts or holding companies, as the purpose of this is to record the actual people and not the structures. Therefore, if a trust holds shares in a company, then the trustees and the beneficiaries of the trust are considered the beneficial owners of the company, as they are the warm bodies who exercise control. So, many individuals can be defined as beneficial owners of a company, even if they do not directly own shares. To take the guesswork out of this complex process, we have designed a very simple beneficial ownership calculator using a number of eliminating questions to determine the number of beneficial owners your company actually has, and those details are required to be submitted to CIPC. The link is in the description. There are a number of compulsory supporting documents required by CIPC to complete the application. The first document you will need is a copy of your latest ID issued by Home Affairs. It must be the most recent issued ID, or it will be rejected, as CIPC verifies your ID against the Home Affairs database and will only accept the latest issued date of the ID. Foreigners are required to use valid passports. You will then need to compile a securities register, which needs to be compliant with Regulation 32, which sets out the information required in the register. It needs to list all the shareholders of all the company's issued shares, i.e. 100%, and may include other companies or trusts. It also needs to include details of each shareholder's name, ID number, or in the case of a company, the registration number, the physical address, contact details, as well as the number and class of shares. Additionally, you will need to compile a beneficial ownership register, which is a list of all the individuals who own more than 5% of the company's shares in their personal names, or individuals who exercise control over the company. This information is similar to that of the securities register, but includes the 3 control questions, namely, does the individual have the ability to appoint or remove directors? Do they have voting rights? Or do they have the ability to influence the management of the company? Unfortunately, CIPC does not provide templates for beneficial owners, nor the securities register. Once both these registers are finalized and saved in a PDF format, you are ready to file with CIPC. One of the first questions CIPC poses during the online submission process is whether your company is an affected company, a non-affected company with beneficial ownership, or a non-affected company without beneficial ownership. Most people are confused by this, as they have never heard of these classifications. So let me explain. Affected companies are defined as state-owned companies, public companies, or private companies that are subsidiaries of holding companies. This means that all other companies are classified as non-affected companies and constitute the bulk of all filings. It is also the only category that receives an instant certificate once the submission is complete. If you are struggling to compile the securities and beneficial register, our online application automatically compiles both registers and mandates us to file the returns on your behalf. You should receive the beneficial owner certificate within 1 business day. I hope you found this video informative. So as always, remember, we are here to help.